This is shocking. This is shocking. I've read an article this morning about an Indian solicitor, manager of a solicitor's firm, a legal firm, who have basically done the UK's legal system over, like many British legal people do. But when it's somebody from a foreign land, it's got to be understood that they have made a choice to leave their own country behind. They must have a good reason to migrate to the UK. So if it's because the education systems are better, the job prospects are better, then they should damn well bloody well respect the land and the laws and be grateful to the systems that have enabled them to be in another land that's not where they originate from. So this person has deep cultural links. They are very cultured, which is admirable, and it's great. You know, we're grateful to have that in our country, in the UK. You know, they wouldn't like it if we went to their country and were being explicitly British, you know, bacon and eggs and all of that over there, fish and chips and whatever. But in this country, if you've chosen to come here and you've fully taken advantage of the education systems and got into a high ranking, which they have, that's a position of great integrity, and they've blatantly abused it, stolen. And who have they hurt along the way to get that money? Who have they harmed or killed? Who has been affected by this? Because in my own experience of being a victim of legal fraud by British, deeply British solicitors, so this isn't a racist thread. I've been done over by deeply British legal people, conservatism, and so I was very hurt along the way, as others have been. People have to be done over to be robbed from. They have to suffer great losses and injustices. People are murdered, raped, stolen from, destroyed. They have to start again. That takes energy. They get cancers, they get diseases, they get all kinds of things. They've got to go through homelessness. Where have they got this money from? Where has the money originated from, is what I'd like to know. Stolen from the public purse. And so the UK taxpayers are constantly being blamed and their taxes increased because the government have no money. So this is an extremely important piece of information. The government are constantly complaining they've got no money. The councils, they've got no money. So they've robbed from the public purse. There's no money in the legal aid fund to support genuine victims of murder, rape, child trafficking. And these migrants, not just migrants, British solicitors do it as well. But this person is not British. Their parents they're Indian. They're deeply cultured Indian people in the UK who have done the UK system over. This is disgusting. How could this go unnoticed? There must be other people involved. His family must have known. They should be tried and punished and go to prison or sent back, and their assets seized and put back into the public purse. I can trust that I'm feeling very angry about this for a reason. I feel angry about things because they warrant it. This is public funds. When is this going to be regarded as terrorism? You know, these migrants are coming here, exploiting our education systems, our housing systems, taking public money, and then using that status to do the country over. Not just migrants, it's British, it's Conservatives as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they were part of it, to be perfectly honest with you. dormant client accounts is harming others. There must have been silencing. People must have been killed in the chains. Family members must surely have their houses repossessed by the UK. They have no rights to it in this matter. Now their son has committed ground theft of the UK's financial security. Why should UK citizens have to foot the bill for tax increases? When is terrorism? When is this terrorism? It's careful, sophisticated operations and must have murdered some who argued with it. People must have been harmed on the way. Anyone that argued with this and didn't wanted to speak up must have got a sudden push off the sidewalk. It's disgrace. They should all have their property seized and it should all go back into the public purse. They should all be deported, dealt with by their own country, or face the consequences in the UK, all go to prison. They should all go to prison. Every single one of them that's got their names on the property deeds that have been associated with this theft. And that's how it should be. And whatever judge is involved should be doing that and investigating who has been harmed along the way, who has been murdered, silenced, whatever. The bank accounts, they all must be investigated. And it is harmful to others to use dormant client accounts. And if they are invented, that's another violation of the law. Why can solicitors get away with this? Why are they simply just struck off and not sentenced? This is really, really bad. When is it terrorism? To bring somebody into the country, to have a child in this country, to choose to come to the UK, to raise a child, to become a solicitor, that then does the legal system over. It's a bit like the MP, isn't it? Who's meddled in other legal matters, who's ring-fenced and totally controlled legal cases where children have been seriously harmed and mothers have been murdered.